I'm Adrienne Pedersen. Today on Upfront. The sudden spike in vaping-related deaths and illnesses. Are illegal products to blame?
If this one is out there, there's other ones out there.
Next, a mind-blowing bust. Authorities seized thousands of black market cartridges, why they're so dangerous, and where the investigation goes from here. Plus, Milwaukee County leaders want a sales tax increase. Can they get permission from state lawmakers? And Democrats debate.
This is about candor, honesty, big ideas. Well, let's have a big idea.
We'll ask local voters about the divide among Democrats.
Taking on the issues important to Wisconsin. This is Upfront with your host, Adrienne Pedersen.
Thank you for joining us. We start with some major vaping concerns. Across the country, at least 6 people have died. Doctors treated hundreds in the hospital, some of those right here in Wisconsin. State health officials confirmed 34 cases of severe lung disease after vaping. The deaths and illnesses prompted President Trump to propose a ban on the sale of some flavored e-cigarettes, but it appears the most serious cases are linked to vaping cartridges with THC oil. Those cartridges are illegal in Wisconsin, and Kenosha County authorities busted a big black market scheme last week.
They get the empty cartridges, bring them into their condo, pay 10 people to come in and inject them, and then they ship them out.
These pictures from inside an upscale condo in Bristol show the size of the operation. 30,000 vaping cartridges filled with THC oil. The raid also found 57 mason jars of the oil and 18 pounds of pot. Kenosha County authorities say 20-year-old Tyler Huffines was the ringleader. He and his employees would inject the vaping cartridges with THC oil and sell them on the street.
Yeah, what a young businessman, what a 20-year-old businessman that lives in Kenosha County, that he's willing to put other people's lives at risk, including children, for his own benefit.
Authorities charged Huffines' brother Jacob, too. The tip came from 2 parents in Waukesha who caught their son with a Huffines cartridge. So how many more illegal cartridges are out there, and how is this all connected? We're asking Kenosha Sheriff David Beth about this. Thank you for being here.
It's a pleasure to be here.
So I think first it's important to make the distinction between vaping this THC oil and smoking pot. How is this different?
Well, obviously smoking pot, you have the weed, you have the plant, and it gets rolled up or however they're going to do it. And this is concentrated marijuana plants that they have, and they get the THC out of it, so it's concentrated. It gets put into cartridges, and then they smoke it through the cartridges.
And the bust in Kenosha area, they mislabeled the packages.
Well, the packages that they were using said, even if it was legal in Wisconsin, it said 5 milligrams of THC content. And what we're being told, at least by the kids that were doing this, the Huffines, they said that they believe this to be pure THC oil. And they were injecting basically 150 times what the packaging said on it.
So way stronger than maybe the people doing it realize.
It's a huge difference from what the packaging said, and the packaging actually makes it look like as if it's candy anyhow, so it throws everybody off to begin with.
You just made this huge bust. Are you concerned there are other black market operations out there?
I'm sure there are. I'm sure this isn't the only one. I don't know how many would be in Wisconsin, southeast Wisconsin, or in the nation, but I'm sure this isn't the only one. Actually, earlier this morning, someone called and said that they talked to somebody that they somehow get their own cartridges and refill them. So now we got to look into that one too. So
you have a lot of work ahead on this. I mean, where do you go from here?
We have brought federal agencies into this. We've got the FDA, the DEA, we've got the CDC out of the South looking into this, and the Wisconsin Health Services also looking at this too. We're bringing lots of resources. We're trying to see who's hurt, who's involved, and who we can bring to justice on this.
You were really passionate in the press conference last week. In fact, it got national attention, and you're asking other states and other law enforcement agencies to let you know if they think that someone in their state could be affected by the cartridges that came from Wisconsin.
Yeah, this wasn't on my radar 2 weeks ago, but in the last week, this has hit me smack in the face. It was we didn't expect this, and I've been looking and seeing that there are people injured or died from this in the Midwest and all across this nation. So I have no doubt that some of the cartridges used that were packaged here in Kenosha County are hurting people throughout the nation.
Wow. I mean, just to take that in, the fact that something made here could be killing people across the country. And I'm sure that means that if you find that to be true, there could be more charges on the Huff-Hines brothers.
I believe that that's what we're going to find. And there's more people besides the two brothers involved. As the last couple days have evolved, I know that there are a few more people that we're going to be are people of interest, let's say, and we're going to be discussing with them their involvement in this case.
This could be much broader.
It's going to grow. I think it's going to grow substantially. I think this is just the tip of the iceberg right now, and I don't know how far spreading it's going to be. But this is going to be. This is one of the first in the nation for an incident like this, as far as I've been told, and we're going to do the best we can to bring some resolution to it.
And I know you're really getting out there. You're going on national TV trying to warn other law enforcement agencies about this. What type of challenge does this present to your law enforcement officers?
Oh, the resources. I mean, we have a drug unit, and it's decent size, but we team up with other ones. But this is going to go statewide. We're dealing with federal agencies. Phone calls are coming in, leads are coming in, and if we have agencies from other states, the communication that's going to have to be involved in here just to process all this, and the drug or the lab with the testing and maybe fingerprints or DNA, whatever it comes from, this is going to be a huge investigation, and we're asking for all the help we can from other resources too.
A lot of politicians watch this show. What do you want state lawmakers to do?
I would love them to get to learn about this, learn how the THC in this market is hurting people, how this one case is affecting people, and also even just the vaping, how that is affecting people. And I've learned in the last week that just the sheer vaping part of it with nicotine and other drugs that are in it are hurting people substantially in this. I'd love for them to get involved and curb this somehow. To what level, I don't know yet, but they need to get involved and take a lead.
Are you interested in new laws potentially?
I'd love to see new laws. The packaging that was involved, I know this is illegal, what the Huff-Hines were doing, but they were making it look like candy. If these cartridges or this packaging would have been on my high school kid's dresser 2 weeks ago, I would not have paid attention to it. I would not have looked twice at it. I would have thought it's a Sour Patch, it's a cherry flavored something, but that isn't what this is.
The vaping industry says that lawmakers should focus on the black market. That's what law enforcement should do, not just vaping e-cigarettes with nicotine. What do you think?
The cartridges with the nicotine, what I learned is these cartridges have as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes. So if people were smoking 2-3 cigarettes a day, they've actually upped their nicotine content that they're intaking in a daily process. I'm sure that's what they are. They don't want to lose money. In my world, with teenagers, I don't want them to start vaping. I don't want them to do this. A story I read yesterday was an 18-year-old boy, just got out of high school, he's a wrestler. His lungs have been so damaged, it's like a 70-year-old person he's got lungs of now, and he'll never get that back.
Well, I know you have a lot of work ahead, so Sheriff, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Next on Up Front.
We are asking the legislature to allow the residents of Milwaukee County to decide whether we want to have a sales tax.
Sales tax hike, why Milwaukee County leaders say it's needed, and how they'll convince Republican lawmakers to let them try.
Up Front, brought to you by WPS Health Insurance.